Hello, lovelies. Today, I'm going to be talking with someone that I'm really excited to meet. It's Cole Arthur Riley. I have been watching her do these amazing blessings. I'm just like I'm a big fan. So you're just going to watch me be a giant fan today as I get to know more about Cole and how she got into the work of writing Black liturgies. It's such a strange time to figure out how we learn to bless people, bless ourselves, bless the rest, and the apocalypse that we live in. And so I'm just so grateful you guys are joining me. You're also going to watch me do what always happens at the beginning of Instagram Lives, which is just get unbelievably sweaty as I wait wait for Cole to arrive and then openly match the screen. So it's gonna be just a time of open struggle. Also, how do we feel about the fur? I feel like I'm kind of into it. Just only one sheep was shorn for great. Hello, Cole. I'm just gonna click on you. Cole, you're gonna watch me struggle. It's gonna be so great. Now I just waved at you. Dang it. Guys, how do I do this? How do I learn? There we go. Requests. Here we go. Geriatric millennial. So that's what this is. I'm unable to use the technology. Cole, hi!
Hello.
I get so stressed out at the beginning of these because I'm not ready. Ready.
I've never done one on my own, so I've never had to start a live, thank God. It seems like a very stressful, high social pressure situation.
Well, I feel like this was a trust fall situation because I already knew that I was going to love you, and I've been really looking forward to this forever. Thanks so much for agreeing to do this.
Of course. Glad that we could finally connect, and I'm glad to meet you.
You're a massive theological nerd, and that's just a special rare breed of person. So do you mind if I just openly read a description of you in the third person as if we're not talking?
Sure.
Okay, great. Cole Arthur Riley is the founder and writer of Black Liturgies, and your project does so much with, and you list your themes, and I love your themes: dignity, lament, rage, justice, rest, and liberation with the practice of prayer. And you work as the content and spiritual formation manager at a Center for Christian Studies at Cornell called Chesterton House. I did not know about that place. That sounds amazing.
Yep, I love my job. Love both of my jobs now, Black Liturgies and my day job.
That's right. How did you, I know there's always a moment maybe at least for me, in writing and just being a little baby thinker. But at some point I was like, you know what? I think theology is the way that I want to get into the big questions of the world. Did you have a moment like that when you realized that theological education, spiritual questions were going to be your language?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think probably in college, just because I wasn't raised in a Christian family or an overtly religious home, and college was the first time I really got involved with a church, and it was simultaneously the first time I felt challenged academically. And I'm a first generation college student, so I was experiencing all of this kind of newness and academic interrogation in the classroom. And I think that probably bled into my spiritual awakening, which I couldn't really separate from my college experience. I couldn't separate what I was reading in literature or in writing class with what I was reading on Sunday, because it all felt like this new surreal thing to engage. I will say that has come with both goodness and I think hardness. I don't think it's always been super good for me to strictly engage the divine in terms of theological questions or this rigorous questioning. I think I'm learning.
But then there's so much at stake.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like we're in botany where we're like, well, I guess botany and the earth apocalypse, like there are still many existential questions at the heart of botany. But I do find with, I don't know, with history and theology and just like taking it on as a worldview in the way that you're describing, felt like it was the Matrix, right? And that it was impossible to separate out those questions from everything from like small talk to like, what do we owe each other, to
Mm-hmm.
like how do we dig into the like the harder work of individual and structural change. I don't know, that felt kind of like it had created a whole framework that I couldn't just like take off anymore.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
I know that we both have a lot of feelings, is a light word, about about what it means to bless people in this hashtag blessed world. So I thought maybe we could start with, I guess, what made you want to like dig into the work of blessing the crap out of people when, I mean, our world really does prefer the approximation of it, though. Like, couldn't you just have posted beautiful photos of yourself, just like petting a dog or running into a beachscape, you know?
Yeah, probably. Yes. I think, I don't know, maybe this is like relevant to most art, but I was needing something myself. Like it wasn't all, you know, this
Yeah.
like kind of altruism, just like beautiful
I will
gesture.
give to
And
you.
yes, in part, like I started Black Liturgies because of something I was deeply craving.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever like wanted something so much for yourself that you start wanting it for other people. And
Wow.
I think that's what Black Liturgies was.
Wow. That's a beautiful full circle kind of love where it like echoes, obviously like echoes in some place inside of you. And you're like, well, this, but then to see so it echo for so many people, that must have felt like you were tapping into a really deep pain and need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I started Black Liturgies last summer, and I think I'd create this space for a long time, but I was longing for language to, you know, despair, to sorrow
Yeah.
that I was feeling, to anger that I was feeling,
Yes.
um, as I processed the murders of Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Elijah McClain. And it was a time where I knew, like, if I don't do something about this longing, it's just gonna kind of envelop me. Like it will become despair. Um, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think it is about that language? Because your liturgies are so lovely in the way that they have an arc to them. Like they like sink in. I always feel like it's like it like pulls you into this deep, hard thought and then like releases you out the other side. At least that's how I feel when I read your work. How do you I guess the word I'm thinking of is like metabolize, but like when you're writing one, how do you help kind of pull into that despair and then figure out where it goes without, I know that you and I are always worried about the excesses. Like we don't want to wrap things up for people.
Yes.
We want to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. I think I mean, I write them each morning and I try to do it when I first wake up so that it does contain a kind of like rawness, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think all liturgies need to be like this, but I don't think my liturgies are super polished or anything like that. They're I start with just like tell the truth, like what's the truest thing about you
Yeah.
or about the friend that you're thinking of or the family member that you're thinking of, and then from there trying to say like what do you wish was true, what do you wish was like a deeper truth, even even if I'm unable to believe it, like what do you want to believe, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yes, exactly. That sounds like the best definition of hope I've heard in a long time. Like, what do we want to be true? Like, what can be true in God's story and God's story for us and our
Mm-hmm.
story? Because, man, I think I think when I was initially very reluctant to write theologically. I think maybe because I'm a historian, I was like, that's for people, that's for professionals, you know, like that's for people. Also, because I work at Duke, I remember the first time I ever prayed at a faculty thing, and I love my faculty, but it was with like a priest who was very serious. And I remember when I rounded out the prayer, you know, they like sometimes people with more formal training are like, ever loving and
Yeah.
ever living God. And mine was like very like, thanks so much. Like just like finished it out. It was sincere, but it was like less formal. And
Mhm.
and then I was like, oh, maybe rawness, or maybe like even like the informality of like how is God speaking today feels, I don't know, like something we almost have to socialize ourselves back into.
Right, right. How do you think you've done that? How do you how do you do
Well,
that? How do you
I will
stand
give
in a room of Duke
I'll give you my
professors?
I'll give you my really honest answer is like almost dying was quite a humbler. I was like, oh, like maybe I won't get it up. Maybe like serious and it's just not, maybe I'm just gonna miss, maybe I'm just gonna miss life if I don't just strip off a few layers and then say like, because my prayers were like, God, I need to like, could you just heal me? Like, could you just show me how to be in this world now that I know it's full of pain? Like that kind of basics, I guess.
Mhm.
So that kind of, I think, then I felt like I couldn't afford the fanciness I had once associated with like theological
Mhm.
prose, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you have to talk yourself into like, I know this is what I need. I think also this is what the world needs. Did it take you a bit of like courage to kind of get out there?
Yes, definitely. I actually started the Black Liturgy's Instagram account anonymously. And for the first month, I didn't show my face. I didn't say who I was. And I told myself, like, you're looking for a community. Like, if it's just 12 of you who are like engaging this stuff and sharing thoughts and emotional expressions, like, that's good. But I wasn't actually bringing myself into the space
Yeah.
until a month, and my friends started to text me, and they would text me like Black Liturgy's posts, not knowing it was me that posted it.
Shut
And
up.
I swear. And then finally they like a few of them caught on and they were like, are you the Black Liturgist? Is this you? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I shouldn't lie directly. So, it was really, it took courage to start it, but even more courage to say, like, I'm talking about, spirituality in my body and what that means. It took a lot of courage to actually bring my body into the space and say, like, this is my face. Um, and I want you to hold this part of me.
And now you have a book coming out where you're going to bring all kinds of you into the space. Can you tell
Yes.
me a bit about the book? I'm really excited.
Yes, I'm so excited too. It's not the book I intended to write, but it's definitely the book I needed to write. I thought I was going to write this kind of disconnected Christian contemplative thing, and I absolutely bring so much of my story, of my father's stories, of my grandmother's stories into the book, in a way that I think that we are holding the book together, our stories and Black myth and this practice of storytelling, as well as some Christian contemplation on a lot of the things that Black liturgies
Yeah.
is kind of grounded on, things like
Yeah.
fear and lament and rage and dignity.
Yeah.
So I process those themes using our collective story as a family.
Gorgeous. And when it comes out, and when does it come out, Cole?
February 22nd,
Hmm.
2022. So it's
Hmm.
like all twos, easy to remember.
That's
And it's
good.
available for pre-order now.
And in case anyone doesn't know, pre-order is like it's just like a big deal for authors because it helps not just the author feel like it's going to be okay, but like it helps sellers and all the infrastructure, kind of the invisible stuff, know that they should put their weight behind this book. So any pre-order goes a really long way. And I really hope anyone listening really just like clicks on that pre-order button because I know that it takes a lot to bring that much of yourself and it seems like the part of what you're asking us to do is is not just pray with you, which I love doing, but to permit ourselves that kind of courage to be in our own bodies and to wake up in the morning and say, like, how do we break open this space so that it has room for my pain, room for all of our pain? And I thought maybe as we just like think about going like the next weeks and months ahead, like how can all of us embody the kind of spirit of what you're doing, in which we like begin with prayer, but we don't end there?
Yeah, I think I love this question about not ending with prayer. I I think I'm probably going to say something that most people don't expect, is like, I think to start to view these different moments throughout our days. I'll just speak for myself. When I started to view these different moments throughout my day as prayer experiences, as encounters with the divine, when I am detangling my hair, it's going to be wash day today. And I want wash day as a Black woman to be a prayer. I want that to be a spiritually restorative experience. And I'm gonna mow the lawn after that. Like, I want that to be a spiritual experience, to think like, where's God in the grass? Where's God in like the tending to the land? Where's God in the tending to my own body and my hair? And to start to kind of transition some of these thoughts away from
Discreet
of Instagram and into, the stuff of life. Yeah.
Well, I think your sacred, ordinary, not ordinary, has given a lot of us language and compassion and courage. And honestly, Cole, I'm so grateful for what you do. I hope that you know that you really do bless us, and you help us unvarnish the crap that we all think is shiny. Like, I feel like the Instagram theology in particular, as I like to call it, is full of the wrong kinds of things that shine. And I feel like you're regularly pulling us back to like breath and life and the things that make humanity for everybody. So thank you so much for doing that. And I really hope we can do this again when your book comes out, and whatever you want. The answer is on your team. I'm just so grateful for you.
Thank you. I'm glad we could connect, and glad we know each other a little bit more now. And we'll have to do this again closer to.
I'm going to Cornell. I'm just gonna start walking. I'll meet you outside of Chesterton House.
Perfect.
And in the meantime, bless you, Cole. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Mm-hmm. And let's talk soon.
Peace.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Blessings to you all in a super hilariously #blessed world. Bye, guys.
Bye.